Ok, păi mai stăm un minut și începem?
Da, da.
Ok. Văd că a intrat și Andru, Neața.
Începem?
Da. Să ne zici, Andru, dacă e ok să începem, te rugăm.
Da, e ok, e totul pregătit.
Ok, super.
Ok. So I'll start. În engleză, nu? Vorbim.
Da, încercăm
Ok.
în engleză.
Okay. So I'm Radu Dobre, and my helper, my colleague is Mara,
Hello.
and we'll start today by teaching you some Unity and help you understand how you can develop some games in Android. We'll start with how to install Unity if you didn't already, and then we'll present you a little bit about the editor, how it works, what you should know, and pretty much everything how to use it. And then we'll do a little demo in Android to help you get used to the interface and help you have a base for the upcoming application that you are going to make. So how many of you heard of Unity? Can you do an emoji? I don't know. Reactions? Oh, okay.
Or raise a hand? Okay, great.
Okay, so you can.
Plenty.
Okay, super. And have you used it in any application or games? Again, can you raise? Okay, so you should know already about it a little. Did you make them in Android or in just games for PC?
For PC.
I have done a single game for a PC.
Okay. Was it a complex one or just some tests?
No, it was a beginning level
A
one.
simple one.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
So we'll cover the basics too, but let's hope that you learn something new, because in the demo application will be pretty interesting, and I hope you will get used to developing games with Android, with Unity in Android. Okay, so I'll let Mara start, and after some time we'll get to the application. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Radu. First of all, I want to ask you if you have the required version installed. It's it's the one here, you can see. Do you have it installed already?
Yes.
Okay, all of you, or is there anybody who needs to do this now?
Me.
Okay, okay. So for the ones who don't have Unity installed, I have here the first slide that contains information for the installment and the setup. You first of all have to install Unity Hub because Unity Hub is like a manager for all of your versions and all of your projects too. So if you don't know anything about it, Unity Hub is the way to go for installing. You can Google search, obviously, install Unity Hub. If not, you can see the exact link there. Of course, after you succeed downloading Unity
Wait,
Hub.
I think someone has a question.
Okay.
Or I heard.
If you have questions and we can't see the raised hands, please just unmute yourself and ask.
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
Could you please show the version that we need to install again?
Yeah, sure.
The latest version 2021. Or
It's the
you can
latest version.
do it with. You can do it
Oh,
with 2019. I'll show something.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Also, if you get ahead with the installment, you can scroll through the PowerPoint. The first three slides are for this stage of setup and install. Okay, so if everything is okay with the setup, can we begin? And while it downloads.
No, don't start it, please.
Oh,
I have
sure.
to start to set up the program.
Okay, sure, but it's gonna last a while.
I mean, we're gonna talk and you can install it on background. But we'll wait a little. You should
Okay.
also install the Android. Wait, move to the next slide. It's
Okay, this one.
Yeah, Android, and OpenCDK GDK. I think it comes with it. And if you use Visual Studio, you should also install the packages for Unity development. I think they are called. Yes. I don't think I have installer here. Anyway, you should install it with Visual Studio 2 because you need to. I will set up the editor for you for scripting.
Yes, I'm sorry. I have a problem. The
Okay.
link you are showing now with the version 2021.3, page not found.
Okay, you should install Unity Hub because they are all there and the latest version. Can you find it? Unity Hub on Google?
I search right now.
I think I put the link somewhere or anyway, but it's faster to search it.
Okay, so first of all, you have to download the Unity Hub, and from the Unity Hub app, you choose the version of Unity you want to install. Okay, so Unity Hub is just like a manager for your versions.
Da, cred că mai bine le dăm o partajele să le arătăm în Unity Hub.
Okay.
Pentru cei. Le dai tu sau?
Nu, dă-le tu.
Ok, da, o să dureze o secundă, stai.
Cred că o să-mi opresc și eu camera ca să nu se piardă din...
Ok, mă auziți?
Da.
Ok. Haideți să vă arăt. Ok, se vede?
Da.
Ok, e destul de dezorganizat, nu băgați de seamă. Deci deschideți Unity Hub-ul, ar trebui să-l găsiți. E primul link, download Unity Hub și cred că e direct download Unity Hub. Și dați download, nu mai are sens să-l instalez că l-am deja instalat. O să vedeți asta, trebuie să vă conectați. Deci faceți-vă un cont. După aceea mergeți la
Contul
O,
cred că
toate
poți să-l
sensul.
faci și după aia.
Da, cred că pot și după aceea.
După ce ți-ai
După mergeți la
făcut.
installs și dați aici install editor. Ok. Și trebuie să instalați recommended version 2021 LT să încercați, pentru că astea sunt cele mai ok. Puteți și 2019-le, o să vă arăt în 2021, vine cu ceva instalat deja și de aia o să fie mai ușor, dar dacă aveți 2019, o să vă arăt și eu o chestie ca să faceți ca la 2021. Încercați să vă alegeți o versiune și să rămâneți cu ea din cauza că când încerci... pardon că vorbesc în român. Try to use to select a version and stay with it, because when you try to convert the project, it will be hard for the editor. It may appear problems may appear. I tried it yesterday to convert it from 2019 to 2021, and I had many problems with it. So try to stay with the version. Okay, you should hit install, and after that, if you have already Visual Studio installed, untick this. It is not needed. I have the Visual Studio 2021 is not needed. And after that, tick the Android build support, and you should also, I see they are not okay. I don't know. You should also tick this too, because they will help you with the development. I don't think anything else is needed. Maybe this one, but I don't think so. For now, just install these two, so it takes less space. You can change it afterwards. Like I can go in installs here for the ones I have and add modules, and you can change them from here. But it doesn't matter. It matters that it's 2021. Okay. Have you managed to install Unity Hub?
Stefan has a question.
Okay, Stefan. No, he was. A rămas cu mâna sus de dinainte.
Okay.
So anyone has any questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
What username do we put an username at the account when we create an
Any
account on
username.
Unity?
I mean, any username you want. It doesn't matter.
Okay, thanks.
Ar trebui doar să ai grijă să-l ții minte, pentru că acest cont o să-l folosești aproape mereu când lucrezi cu Unity.
Da.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. Can you share again the PowerPoint?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Okay, so going back to our slide, like I told you, the first three slides are the steps to install and set up your application. You can scroll later through the PowerPoint if you need those instructions. If not, as Radu told you in the beginning, we're going to talk about a little bit about Unity basics. For the ones that already know Unity and have developed a game using Unity, I hope it's not going to be boring for you, but maybe just a recap. And for the other ones who don't know about Unity, I hope it's gonna be a good base, a good foundation for you to start learning. Okay, so to begin with, we have the first chapter, introduction and basics. So first of all, we have to determine what are game engines. So Unity is a game engine. And game engines help you with the most general things about your game, like they display the word that you have created. They help you play sounds or add illumination to your scene or calculate physics, for example, and many other more things. But the things that the game engine helps you with are general things when it comes to a game. So it doesn't help you with the specific components of your game. It helps you with the general ones. I mean, all of the games require sound, for example. All of the scenes require lightning. You have to have physics in your game, but you don't have to implement those yourself because those are general things, things that all of the games have and use. Okay, so you just have the basic functionality offered by the game engine, and on top of this you come and implement the things that are specific to your game. Ok, ca să zic un piculeț și în română, ideea la game engine-uri sau motoare de joc este că te ajută cu chestiile care nu sunt specifice pentru jocul tău. Adică te ajută cu fizica, cu lumini, cu sunet, cu, nu știu, de exemplu, dacă vrei să importi o chestie, toate lucrurile care sunt generale pentru orice joc sunt oferite de către game engine. Este clar? E clar de ce am avea nevoie să folosim un game engine?
Da.
Okay, because otherwise we have to implement those things ourselves. We have to calculate physics ourselves, for example. Okay, and the two major things, the two major game engine when it comes to popularity are Unity and Unreal. Well, the key difference between those two are that Unreal uses the programming language C++, while Unity uses C#. Well, they also offer something that's called visual scripting. Like you don't need to know C++ or C# to actually implement a game. The tools are called blueprints for Unreal and both for Unity. We're gonna present you Unity with C# for this, but if you understand the basics today, you can try to do a little bit of research for Bolt, for example. Okay, and now I want to debate a little bit. Using game engines is not cheating. You could wonder, okay, but is it okay if I use those things? Don't I have to implement those myself? Well, you don't, because actually the goal is for you to create a game. It doesn't matter how you do it. Is this part clear? Everybody uses game engines. Yes, Razvan.
You said something about Unreal Engine. Are we disqualified if we enter with a game made in Unreal?
No, of course not. We just chose to present you Unity because it's like it's the go-to game engine when it comes to mobile applications. You can use Unreal Engine, of course, as you can use any other tool. You don't have to stick to a tool or a technology that we present, but bear in mind that we can't offer support if you choose another technology.
I see. And we have to make it as less demanding as possible because nobody has the newer type of phones. Unreal, I think, is kind of demanding. So.
Yeah, it depends on what you want to do, what you want to implement in your project. So you are the one that sets the standards for your project. You are the one that that establishes the functionalities.
Okay.
And keep in mind that the game that you develop has to be a serious game, okay? So it's not a game that's developed for fun and for entertainment in your free time. It has to be an application that helps somebody during difficult times, like the pandemic, because it's the theme of the contest. Okay, so don't forget this. We don't implement games that are solely for fun. Okay, so it has to be a game that helps somebody or helps somebody in a situation. These are called serious game, and you can do a little bit of research after all. Okay, so any other question regarding game engines or? Yes, please.
Mai devreme ați serious games, serious sau ca să
Da,
știu dacă am auzit bine.
Jocuri serioase, așa se numesc în română, și sunt jocuri care au, de exemplu, un scop educațional sau orice fel de concept care poate fi prezentat cu ajutorul unui joc. Cam asta este chestia. Da, poți să cauți despre jocuri serioase. Bun. Mai sunt întrebări aici?
Puteți întreba și în română, nu e problemă.
Da, puteți întreba și în română, e ok. Sau dacă nu înțelegeți ceva în engleză, noi repetăm în română.
We are also gonna cover some C# or just
Yes.
Yes. The demo we're gonna do C#. Yes.
Only C# or C++ too?
C++ is for Unreal Engine. In Unity is just C#.
I know, just asking.
Could I ask, what is the difference between C++ and C#?
The syntax is different, and the way you make classes. I mean, for example, in C# you have using system.io. We will use it. In C++ we'll have include something. And C# I think is more for the .NET, and C++ it's for pretty much anything. I mean, I love more C++ and I love Unreal Engine, but Unity is much easier. That's why we are doing it in Unity. And I don't recommend it. I don't recommend you starting Unreal Engine instantly. I started it Unity, like 2 years of development, and then I moved to Unreal Engine, and still don't know that much because Unreal Engine is pretty hard with pointers and everything. But they made right now Unreal Engine 5, and it has a lot more documentation. And yes, but it's still hard. So try understanding Unity first, mastering it, and move to Unreal, and we'll get it's much better than starting with Unreal. Trust me.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so can I move on? The next slide is a natural transition from what you were asking. Okay, so the pros of using Unity. First of all, Unity is known for being the go-to development environment for mobile games and also for indie games. Indie games are games that are developed by small companies just starting developing. Okay, so as a fact, in September 2019, statistics show that 52% of the top 1,000 mobile games were developed using Unity. Okay, so this shows you that it's a really easy choice when it comes to developing a game that runs on mobile phones. Okay, so there's a reason for Unity's popularity, especially for smaller scale projects like the ones that we implement in this contest. And the reason it's because it's free, okay? Unreal is also free. But the thing is that Unity also offers a lot of good tutorials. For example, there is a platform, an official platform called Unity Learning, that helps you, that offers you official tutorials, okay, how to do something, or if you want to implement a game from day 0 to, I don't know, day 30, they're gonna learn you how to do it. Okay, and the second thing that's really important regarding Unity is because it's a nice place to start if you're a beginner. The process of learning is actually pretty quick because you're gonna see results really early. And those results are going to be satisfying and visible after not so much effort, because it's a game engine and it helps you cover the basics of your game. And there are good tutorials on the internet. The community is very, very helpful. There are a lot of resources. You just have to search those. And another thing that is really important, it's also fast at porting. That means that your game, you can run your game on different platforms. This is what portability means. You can run your games on different platforms with just a few clicks, like Radu is gonna show you later. And there is also something that's called asset store, but we're gonna talk about it a little bit later. So this is it about the pros, and I recommend you starting starting the actual course, because this was just an introduction. Here we have a screenshot from the application, which is divided into different segments or windows from the app. It's just a way for me to better explain things for you. So the one from here, A, is called the toolbar. We have the left part that's called the hierarchy. In the middle, we have the game scene and the view and the scene view. And we also have on the right side the inspector, and at the bottom the project. Okay, so this is how Unity is divided when it comes to windows or views. Okay, so you should expect finding different functionalities in each of the windows. Okay, so first of all, questions before we dig into to each window presented here.
Cine avea probleme cu instalarea a rezolvat?
Eu instalam.
Ok.
Încă se instalează versiunea de 2021.3.0F1. E abia la editor application.
Nu e problemă oricum. Asta e mai mult introductiv. Acum poți să fii atent și se instalează pe fundal.
Da.
Ok.
Exact, plus că o să dureze ceva.
Da.
Bun. Este clar până aici? E ok pentru toată lumea?
Yes, it's
Da.
okay.
Ok, dacă aveți întrebări sau, nu știu, dacă trec prea repede peste informații, opriți-mă, întrebați-mă, ok? Bun. Deci aici, practic, este un screenshot din aplicație și am împărțit în segmente, în categorii, în zone. Ok. And we're gonna take each of those and see what can we find there and what is useful at the beginning. Okay, so first of all, the toolbar is the top side of Unity. We have it actually provides access to the most essential working features. It's where all the things that we use often are placed. So on the left side, we have this thing that is used for navigation. Okay, so we have, first of all, something that looks like a hand. It's obviously called hand tool. After it, we have the move tool, like the ones with 4 arrows. The rotate tool, the scale tool, the rectangle tool, transform tool, and at the end we have a custom tool. But it's optional. I think that in some version it's not even there. Okay, so those tools, those little buttons, are helpful in the scene view. You're gonna understand it a little bit later, but we have this application, this Unity application, that helps us develop the world of our game. Okay, so we are the creators of the game. This means that we place different objects in the scene. So naturally, when we try to create the scene, we have to navigate. Okay, we have to zoom in or zoom out, or we have to move to see things or place things there. And this is why we need those buttons there. The hand tool helps us move. Okay, so we have to physically move our view inside the scene. The move tool is helpful if we want to change the position of an object that we have placed in the scene. We have, depending on the type of project we use, it could be 2D or 3D. This means that our view could have two axes, so X and Y, or three axes, X, Y, and Z. Obviously, we can move an object. Imagine an object in space. Okay, I don't know. Imagine a mug on. I'm gonna start my camera to show you. Okay, so imagine this mug. We could move it like this, up. We could move it left or right, and we could move it forward or back. Okay, so is it clear? In order for you to place an object inside the space, you have to obviously change the position. And depending on if you're working with 2 axes or 3 axes, you can move it in 2 directions or 3 directions. Okay, so up and down, left and right, or in front or through the back. Is it clear why we need to move things? Okay. So,
Cineva o întrebare?
Da.
Yes, I want to know if, let's say that we are working on Unity and we want to make a game. We can make either 3D or 2D game and it doesn't matter.
Yes, it doesn't matter as long as your game is helping somebody.
Yes.
Other than boredom. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
And by the way, every game it's 3D in Unity is just the perspective is 2D when you make a 2D game.
Yeah,
Okay,
so,
and another question.
Can we make apps, not just games, in Unity?
Yes, of course.
We can make anything. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we also have the rotate tool that helps us rotate things, of course, because we have this pencil, by the way, for example. The pencil could stand like this, or I don't know, it could be rotated like this. So we also have to change the rotation of our object. And the scale tool, we could have the same object that could be like this, this dimension, or we can change the size. If you want to have it smaller or bigger. Is it clear? Those are the basic transformations when it comes to Unity.
Most of the time you use these 3. The other doesn't matter that much,
Exactly.
like 90%, 95% of the time. So.
Exactly. Ok, aveți întrebări? E clar ce am zis? Zic și în română?
Da.
Da, e clar sau da, zic și în română?
Da, e clar.
Ok, mulțumesc. Bun. We have something that is called rectangle tool. It's useful, especially in 2D games. It's like you try to redimension a picture from a PowerPoint, for example. So you just drag the corner if you want to resize it. It's the same thing. And that's about it. I'm also gonna show those tools in Unity, but first of all, I wanna finish the theoretical part. Okay, and at the center we have this this rectangle with a play button, a pause button, and a step button. In Unity, you have the scene view and the game view. The scene view is the place where you, as a developer, place things into the space. So it's the game where it's the window where you make your game pretty, or where you create your world. Okay, but the final customer, the final user of your application is not gonna see that. It's not gonna see what you have in your scene view. He's gonna see the game view. Ok? Deci, scene view-ul este pentru voi, ca persoane care implementează jocul, unde veniți voi și vă plimbați pe acolo și aranjați obiecte și le rotiți și le faceți drăguțe. Utilizatorul final o să vadă game view-ul. Game view-ul, adică practic voi în scena voastră o să plasați și o cameră, de exemplu. Iar game view-ul este exact ce se vede prin camera aia. Adică voi puteți să veniți să puneți camera mai sus sau mai jos și să schimbați practic perspectiva și rezultatul final pentru utilizator. Doar că el va vedea exact ce se vede prin cameră. Asta se întâmplă în game view. Și chestia asta cu play și pause vă ajută pe voi să simulați cum o să arate jocul pentru utilizatorul final. E clar? Adică, practic, voi aveți o scenă întreagă pe care o umpleți, doar că utilizatorul final o să vadă doar ce se vede prin cameră. De exemplu, dacă voi aveți un copac și copacul ăla nu este în câmpul vizual al camerei, utilizatorul final nu o să vadă acel copac. Ok? Pentru că nu se vede prin cameră. E clar care e diferența între scene view și game view?
Da, e clar.
Da.
Ok, bun. Și cu butonul de play porniți efectiv simularea. Ok? Adică, practic, voi vreți să vedeți cum o să arate pentru utilizatorul final jocul. Da, Răzvan.
Pentru o cameră, game view, cum știm unde se află camera în momentul ăla?
Păi, o să înțelegi un piculeț mai târziu. Hai să trecem mai departe, dacă tot.
Ține minte întrebarea dacă e și nu o înțelegi și ți arăt eu când intrăm pe...
Ok, stai că îi explic eu imediat. Bun, ideea este că, like I've said before, the scene contains a lot of objects, okay? So it's like trying to create a room. Think about your room, the room that you're in right now. It has different objects. For example, it has my coffee mug, it has an armchair, a couch, a table, and things like this. And in Unity, you have to place those things yourself, okay? But these are called game objects. But the camera and the lights are also game objects, okay? So you treat your camera like any other object. You can rotate your camera, you can move your camera. Ok? Este clar, Răzvan? Camera este ca orice alt obiect din jocul tău. Ok? Imaginează-ți că în momentul în care, în momentul ăsta, tu vii și folosești o cameră normală, foto, video sau camera de la telefon, o folosești în camera în care te afli tu acum. Și este ca un obiect normal din joc. Este un game object. Ți-am răspuns la întrebare, Răzvan?
Da, ok. Este ca orice alt prop din tot jocul.
Exact, da.
O să aibă formă fizică, nu?
Da, exact. Și o să poți să verifici, bineînțeles, prin interiorul ferestrei game, o să poți să verifici ce se vede prin ea. Și dacă nu îți place perspectiva, poți să o muți, să o rotești.
Ok. Mai am o ultimă întrebare legată de asta. Cum mut perspectiva în timpul jocului a camerei?
Poți să scrii cod pentru asta, de exemplu cod care îți rotește camera sau ți-o mută, exact ca orice alt obiect, cum am zis, sau poți să folosești două camere și să schimbi între ele. Poți să cauți pe net cum se face asta, e ușor, după ce înțelegi bazele Unity-ului.
Te referi de la ortografic în perspectiv sau?
Cum ar fi, nu cum s-ar mișca un caracter pe toată harta pe care o aveți acolo, de exemplu. Dacă stă la o masă și în loc să se uite drept la scaunul celălalt, se uită pe masă.
Și vrei să o miști, să se uite în jos sau ce?
Da, să se uite în jos, să se uite pe masă, în loc de în față.
Poți să faci asta cu mouse-ul. Bine, că avem pe telefon, nu prea merge asta cu mouse-ul, dar na, e destul de ok. Și mai avem o întrebare.
Da.
It's not really a question, but for the games, instead of making code for the camera, you can make the camera the child of the player.
Yes, yes, you can.
So we have somebody who already knows some Unity. Okay, thank you. And moving on, we have something that's called a hierarchy window. This means that it's like a list of all of the game objects that are placed in your scene right now. Okay, so if we add an object like a table into our scene, excuse me, my voice is leaving me. Okay, so if you add, for example, a table into your scene, the table is also going to be visible in the hierarchy. Okay, so the hierarchy is a list, so a text representation of every game object in the scene. As you can see here, we have the main camera, so it's a game object. We have a directional light. It's like it's a normal light for your game, and we also have different other objects. One that is called parent, and this parent contains 2 children, and the child number 2 contains the child number 3. This means that you can change the parenting structures of your objects. And the reason why you want to do this is because if the parent here is moving or rotating, all of the children are going to do exactly the same. Okay, so as the other kid told us before, for example, if you have the player and you also have the camera, and the player moves, it's a good practice for the camera to be child of the player, because doing so, when the player is moving, the camera is going to follow. Okay, because the parent is moving or rotating, and the child is going to do exactly the same thing. Okay.
And a side note, this is also something that it's unexpected, because it's also changes the transform and the size. So you should be careful, because if the parent it's increased by 2 in size, the child's will also be increased by 2. And you should be careful with this. I had a problem when you set the parent of a child you set the child to a parent, and it increased the size by 243 or something. So you should be careful with this if it's not what you intend to do.
Ok, aveți întrebări? E clar ce am zis? Ca să rezum puțin el și în română. Ideea este că scena voastră și ierarhia sunt în mod constant, în mod automat, updatate împreună. Asta ce înseamnă? Adică sunt legate. Asta ce înseamnă? În momentul în care voi adăugați un game object în scenă, o să apară și în ierarhie, după nume. Adică imaginați-vă că, efectiv, ierarhia este ca o listă, ca un inventar al tuturor obiectelor pe care le aveți voi în scenă. Ok? Puteți să le vedeți ori fizic în scenă, ori sub formă de listă în ierarhie. Dar se updatează imediat, instant. Sunt în mod direct legate între ele. Ok? Și comunică în 24 din 7. Bun. Aveți întrebări?
Nu.
Ok, bun. Îmi pare rău pentru cei care știți deja. Unity e posibil să vi se pare puțin boring, dar am vrut să acopăr bazele pentru toată lumea. Ok, bun. Moving on. We also have the game view. Like I've told you, it represents your final and published application. And in order for the game view to exist, you need to have a camera in your scene. Okay, because the player is going to see exactly what the camera sees. Okay, so you can also think about the camera as the eyes of the final player. Okay, and when you click the play button, you as a developer are able to see the final simulation. We have something that's called control bar, and it's a panel where you can set different things. Like, for example, the first thing that you can do is to choose the camera that you see. Okay, so by default it is set to display 1. This means that you are going to see the content through camera number 1. If you have multiple cameras, you can switch here. Free aspect is the aspect ratio of your screen. You can test your game using different sizes of displays, so different aspect ratios, but Radu is gonna cover it more. You can also zoom in or zoom out using the scale slider. If you click on maximize on play, you can choose for the game view to open full screen. You can also mute the audio component. If you are a developer and you don't want to hear the same song for the 1000th time, then you can mute it. And this is what the basic is regarding the game view. Do you have any question? Okay, I think not. And now the scene. Yes, Razvan?
A zis de aspect ratio. Care este cea mai recomandată pentru telefon? Pentru că ăsta e obiectivul nostru.
O să vă arăt eu.
Radu despre asta.
Ok.
Bun. And now we have the scene view. So it allows you to edit your scene and build your scene, and you also have to navigate through it. So the first skill that you want to develop when working with any game engine in general is selecting objects, modifying them, like moving or rotating or scaling them, and also manipulating them. So I have written here, using the hand tool, you can right click and drag inside the scene to move. Okay, moving left, right, up and down, depending on the movement that you do when you click and drag. Also, if you have the hand tool selected and you also press the Alt button, is going to help you move around a certain point. And if you do the same thing but using the right click this time, is going to allow you to zoom in or zoom out. You can also obtain the same effect using the scroll wheel from your mouse. And this is the hand tool, the first one. And we have talked about the other ones. I'm gonna show you how they function in the Unity, but it's going to happen a little bit later. It's good to know the most common shortcuts on your keyboard, like the undo or redo an action and copy paste. I'm sure you know this. And we also have something that is called the Gizmo. The Gizmo helps you visually with the axis. So if you work in 3D, you can see that the red thingy, little thingy there, is the z-axis. So you know at all times which is the direction of the axis. Okay, and we also have the green one, which is the y, and the blue one, which is z. Okay, so if you rotate around the scene, you don't lose track of where you are as axis. Okay, and you can also click on those thingies there to change the perspective. If you want to see your scene from a different from a certain angle, you can do this by using the gizmo. It's gonna be a lot clearer when we actually go in the application. Do you have questions regarding the scene view or any other question at all? Răzvan.
Da. Mi-ați pentru X, Y și Z sunt dar pentru celelalte, alea ce fac?
Alea sunt exact, sunt două împreună, sunt două axe împreună. Dacă este, de exemplu, cea albă dintre Y și Z, o să fie, bineînțeles, Y și Z. O să vedem exact când intrăm în Unity ce fac celelalte. Și sunt practic și sunt continuarea Y-ului. Ok, o să-ți arăt. Bun. Alte întrebări? Ok. Atunci o să trec mai departe. And we also have the inspector, which is which is one of the most interesting windows in Unity, because this is where you set behavior for your objects. Okay, so you select a game object from either the hierarchy or the scene, and this inspector is going to pop up. The inspector is different from object to object, because there won't be perhaps won't be two objects that are going to have the exact same behavior. Okay, so the inspector allows you to define this behavior using components. Okay, so each behavior is a component in like a silly explanation, which is so simple to understand. So each component in the inspector is a behavior. You can see here, I hope, the transform component, the capsule component, for example, the mesh renderer, and the component with the script in the parentheses. Okay, so first of all of the objects require a transform component. All of the game objects require this component here, because the transform component is where you have your position, your rotation, and your scaling. And you can see here that all of those are on the three axes. So we have the position on the axis Z, Y, and Z. Also the rotation on those three axes and the scale on those three axes. Okay, so each object needs to have a space, a position in space in your scene, and also a rotation. It doesn't matter if it's 0, 0, 0, so the object is not rotated at all, but this is where we see those things. Okay, and from the inspector you can also change the name of the game object. You can see there at the top part that we have the name that is called character, so you can click there and change the name of your game object. If you want, for example, we have a car, but we don't want it to to be called car because we know it's the player. So we go there and change the name from car to player. It's just something that helps us as developers. Okay, and it's also a way for organization because we don't have to have random names. We want to have names that help us find the game object easily, for example. And you can also hide on or unhide the game object because maybe there are times where we don't want all of the objects to be visible, and we can choose to do so from the inspector. As I've told you, we can reposition, rotate, or scale the game object because we could use the tools that I have shown you, scale, move, or rotate, or we can enter data here. We can enter numbers. If we know we want the object, I don't know, a certain object to be at a certain position, then we can enter things here. And we also have something that's called scripts. The scripts, as Radu is going to show you, are the code files where you define functionality through the programming language. Okay, so we write a script, so a code file. We write a script for a certain object or certain objects. And we know that in the script we define the behavior, and then we have to add the script in the inspector of the game object. Ok, deci avem fiecare game object are un game inspector al lui. Când dăm click pe game objectul respectiv, se deschide și inspectorul. Iar în inspector avem diferite componente. Aceste componente ne dau setează practic cum se comportă obiectul nostru în joc. Ce poziție are, ce rotație are, dacă e mai mic, dacă e mai mare, dacă are atașat pe el un obiect de tip script. Scripturile am zis că sunt fișiere cu cod, fișiere pe care le scriem noi, care conțin cod în C#, pentru că suntem în Unity. Și bineînțeles, noi prin acel cod, iarăși venim și îi definim comportamentul. Ok? Este clar, putem să facem foarte multe chestii aici. Putem să adăugăm, de exemplu, dacă un obiect vrem să, nu știu, să aibă niște bipuri din când în când, venim aici, adăugăm o componentă de audio. Dacă vrem, de exemplu, să aibă culoarea roșie, venim și adăugăm un material. E clar? Că tot ce ține de comportamentul unui obiect din joc este definit aici. Okay, bon. And moving on, we have the project window where we have here at the bottom. Here we have all the assets. The assets are resources. Okay, in our game we use a lot of resources. This means that we have 3D models or 2D images, for example, or materials like red, green, yellow, textures if we want something that's more detailed, or animations, or files for the audio component and things like this. Okay, so all of the things that we use inside our game and especially inside our scene are called assets. Okay, assets are resources, are valuable things for our game. And we also have something that is called asset store. As I've told you in the beginning of this presentation, Unity offers an asset store. The asset store is the place where Unity itself and other developers or individual places those assets. They could be free or paid, but you can download things from the asset store and import those into your project. Okay, so all of the things that you find there, you can use in your project. I recommend you using only the free ones, of course. You don't have to pay in order to have a nice game. I'm also going to show you how to import those things. And we also have the console. The console is the place where if we have things that don't work very well or don't work at all, this is the place where we are going to see an error or a warning. Okay, so Unity is going to come to us and say, hey dude, there's something going on that is not okay. Okay, try to fix it, because otherwise things are not going to be so cool starting from now on. E clar?
Da.
Bun. Are cineva vreo întrebare?
Presupun că dacă ar fi să cumpăr aseturi, rămân pe contul meu, adică nu trebuie să le cumpăr de fiecare dată când am un proiect.
Exact, da. Asta este și chestia, de asta v-am încurajat să vă faceți un cont de Unity, tocmai pentru că toate chestiile pe care le faceți, toate proiectele pe care le faceți rămân pe contul vostru, toate asset-urile pe care le descărcați de pe Asset Store rămân pe contul vostru. Adică tu poți să schimbi foarte ușor calculatorul mâine și să ai acces la aceleași chestii. Doar că de asta este foarte important să vă creați un cont de Unity și să îl rețineți. Dar, again, nu vă sfătuiesc să dați bani pe niciun asset store, Doamne ferește, pentru că dacă intrați acolo și, nu știu, vă uitați 5 minute, dați scroll pe acolo și căutați niște chestii, o să vedeți că sunt foarte multe care sunt gratis și care sunt super. Adică chiar nu este nevoie să dați absolut niciun ban aici.
Și multe găsiți pe net și gratis.
Exact. Sau
și modele și de toate.
Exact. Puteți să mai găsiți și în altă parte, nu vă limitați la Asset Store, doar că probabil că nu va fi nevoie, pentru că fiind pe mobile, probabil că o să vă concentrați mai mult pe partea de butonele și așa mai departe. Adică, nu știu, asta mă gândesc eu. Dar în niciun caz nu dați bani pe asset-uri pentru proiectul ăsta.
Ok, avem 2 întrebări.
Ok. Hai să
Antimeter. Hello?
Doesn't the console also display debug messages?
Yes, of course. If you choose to display a message through the code, the console is the place where they will be displayed.
Yes, I will show you.
Yeah.
Ok. Răzvan?
Da. Putem să importăm și chestii gen JPG-uri sau PNG-uri?
Da.
De la noi din calculator sau trebuie de pe Unity Store?
De la voi din calculator, pur și simplu dați drag and drop în project window și vi-l import.
Le putem lipi pe alte obiecte, gen pereți sau chestii care se mișcă chiar?
Da, normal.
Ok. Ați ne arătați cum să facem asta?
Nu o să vă arătăm asta.
Asta vreau să zic, că noi nu avem cum în câteva ore să vă învățăm absolut totul despre Unity. Noi încercăm să vă punem bazele, ca după aia voi să fiți în stare să căutați pe Google ce vă interesează și să găsiți cum să faceți asta și să faceți voi singurei. Adică nu o să vă arătăm acum cum să puneți o imagine pe un perete care se mișcă, dar o să știți măcar ce și cum să căutați mai departe.
O să arăt ceva, dar nu o să fie. Adică o să-ți arăt dacă ai spus asta, dar nu o să fie. Adică cel mai bine cauți pe net, că o să găsești sigur.
Ok. Și cam asta e despre ce găsiți în Unity și unde. I would also like to tell you about the user interface elements, because probably you're going to use those in your project. We have the user interface elements are called UI elements. Okay, so it's a short term for user interface. So we have different UI options for us to place into our object. We have a game object that is called canvas that has to be the parent of all of the user interface elements that you are using. Okay, so nu contează ce element de UI folosiți, toate chestiile astea trebuie să fie copii ai canvas-ului. Because the canvas is first of all auto-created when we insert an UI element into our scene, and is also generally displayed on top of the world. Okay, on top of the world that we create inside the scene view. Okay, so we have our world, our 3D world, for example, and the canvas is going to be displayed on top of it. Okay, so it doesn't matter what happens in the background in the world, you are going to see the canvas on top of it. Okay, and we could have some visual components, so like text or image, and we also can have elements that allow interaction. They are called interaction components. We could have buttons, because of course if we click the button then something happens. We can have a toggle. The toggle, you can check on or uncheck that option. We have a slider. The slider is a visual representation of a value between a minimum value and a maximum value. We can have a drop down when we have different when we have multiple options, but we don't want to occupy the entire screen. We have a drop down, so we click on the arrow there and we select the option that we want. We could have scroll view, which is basically more or less the same thing. When we have content that takes up a lot of space and we want it to be displayed in a small area. Okay, so we want to scroll for it to occupy a smaller area, and we also have an input field that allows the user to write something in. For example, if you want to know the name of your user, you're going to use an input field, and so on. There are plenty more, but these are the most interesting ones and the most common ones. Okay, so for example, just a little bit of test now. Test menu. What UI element do you think it is? Test menu on top in the photo. Could you repeat, please?
The words, the test menu, it's just a text.
Exactly, thank you. And the one here, the first one, option A, what is it?
A drop down.
Okay. Test button. It's obviously a button, so you can click it. This one, the third one, is a toggle, so you can check on or uncheck it. You can also have something that is called a toggle group, and a toggle group functions like a radio button. So if you define multiple toggles, you can create a toggle group with those, and you can have only one of them selected. Okay, so if you select one of them, all of the other ones are going to be unselected. I don't know if you need it, but it's just random information. Okay, the fourth one, what is it?
Input field.
And the last one from the first column?
Slider.
Slider, yeah. The first one from the second column?
Scroll view.
And the last one is another button. Okay, so this ends the PowerPoint regarding the theory. Now let's go to actually using Unity a little bit. I'm gonna stop presenting and share Unity. with you. So just to show you quick things. Okay, please tell me if you can see it.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. So when we open Unity, this is how it looks. Okay, we can see that this is the toolbar. This here, this area is the hierarchy. We have the scene view and also the game view. So in game view, you can see the scene through the eyes of the camera. Here is the inspector. So if we have no object selected, obviously it's going to be empty because it's going to show us the components of a certain game object. For example, if we select the main camera, it's going to look like this. If we select the light, is going to be a little bit different. But all of them have to have the transform component. And at the bottom, we have the project window with just one scene for the moment, and the console where there are no warnings or errors or debug messages, so it's empty for now. Okay, so I want to show you just a quick thing. Here in the hierarchy, you can right click and add standard objects to your scene. For example, you have the 3D object category. This allows you to insert into your scene a cube or a sphere or things like this. We also have effects, but I'm not going to show you those. We have different types of lights. We also have some audio or video or UI elements. Okay, so we have the text, the image, the buttons, toggles, sliders, and all of the things that we have talked about. Also the canvas, but if you choose to insert text, for example, it's going to create the canvas automatically. Okay, and we also have another camera there. For example, let's insert a cube. So now if you create your standard objects in the hierarchy, you can see that inside the scene is going to be placed at default positions or rotations. Okay, so let's test those tools here in the toolbar. Okay, so first of all, the hand. If you click left click and drag, it's going to allow you to move like this. Okay, is it visible?
Yes.
Okay, if you also have the hand selected and click on Alt, it's going to let you rotate around this object. You can also have a type of navigation that is with the hand selected. You right click on your mouse to rotate around yourself. And you can also use the wheel, like pressing the wheel, or scrolling with the wheel for zoom in or zoom out, or with Alt and right click. Okay, so this is how you navigate through your scene. You have all of the information in the PowerPoint, so I'm not gonna spend a lot of time talking about it. But let's talk about the move tool. Okay, so like I've said before, the Gizmo, this is what this thingy is called. The Gizmo lets you know where the axes are. Okay, so we can see that here we have 3 arrows when we select the move tool. We have the red direction, which is the X axis. I'm gonna place it like this for you to see. Okay, so the red is X, the green is Y, and the blue one is Z. Okay, so if we drag this arrow here, we can see that the value from the x-axis is changed, okay? But we can also enter a value directly, for example, 4, okay, or -2, okay, for the other direction, okay? So the values here are with plus or with minus, depending on the direction from the origin, okay? Is this thing clear? How we can move? You can also do the same thing on the other axis as well, okay? And now we can see that we have values here that are not 0. Is it clear, this part?
Yes, it's very clear.
Okay, and we can also rotate. Okay, so the rotate is around an axis. So we can see that the x is this way, and the red half circle is going to change our rotation around the axis x, excuse me. And we have also the rotations around y and z. Okay, and this is how you can rotate an object inside your scene. Don't forget that we as developers are working in the scene view. If we want to take a little sneak peek in the game view, this is how it's going to show. Okay, we can see our cube that is in a weird position, and we also have some text here, some random text, because we have the text game object. Okay. If we also run the game, it's going to show us the exact same thing as the game. Okay, and here we can scale the object on the x or the y or the z. Okay, so we can transform our objects this way. Okay. Do you have questions?
Dacă puteți să mai arătați odată de unde ați schimbat mărimea și ați rotat cubul.
Ok, sunt chestiile astea de aici, din stânga sus, din toolbar. Prima e mânuța care ne lasă să navigăm. A doua este dacă vrem să mutăm pe o axă, pur și simplu ne apar săgetuțele astea când selectăm Move Tool. După aia următorul este Rotate, doar ne jucăm cu rotațiile pe diferite axe, iar al patrulea este cel de Scale. Ok, și tot așa ne apar un fel de săgetuțe, dar în loc de săgetuțe e un cubuleț. Sau putem, în momentul în care avem cubul selectat în ierarhie sau chiar și în scenă, putem să venim aici în inspector, în componenta de transform și să ne jucăm noi cu valorile. E clar? Astea sunt cele mai basic operații din Unity. Să muți, să rotești și să scalezi. E clar?
Mai am eu o întrebare.
Te rog.
Putem folosi Blender?
Da, bineînțeles. Puteți să importați obiectele pe care le faceți în Blender. Bun. Este clar? Până aici?
Da.
Ok, super. Hai să ne întoarcem un piculeț la componenta noastră text. Vedeți că practic cubul nostru e mic acolo și avem chestia asta gigantică care este canvas-ul. Ok? Tocmai pentru că v-am zis că avem nevoie de canvas ca să avem toate elementele de UI practic deasupra a ce se întâmplă în scenă. Ok? Vedeți cubulețul nostru e acolo mic în stânga jos. Și practic toată chestia asta mare este canvasul nostru și noi venim pe canvas și mutăm toate chestiile care sunt legate de UI. De exemplu, dacă vrem ca acest text să fie în stânga sus, venim și îl mutăm în stânga sus în raport cu canvasul nostru. Ok? Dacă mai punem chestii, putem tot așa să le mișcăm. Și acum, dacă ne ducem în game, vedem că, într-adevăr, textul nostru apare în stânga sus. Putem, de exemplu, tot așa, să îi setăm un pivot. Adică, pivotul este ca și cum i-ai zice Unity-ului că, hei, eu vreau ca această chestie să fie întotdeauna în partea stângă-sus, indiferent de dimensiunea pe care o are ecranul pe care o să rulăm. Și venim aici și îi zicem stânga-sus. Ok? Și asta înseamnă că dacă noi o să avem un ecran mai micuț, nu contează pentru că o să fie întotdeauna în stânga-sus. Practic, indiferent de aspect ratio pe care îl alegeți voi sau de măsura display-urilor, întotdeauna distanța dintre text și colțul stânga-sus va fi constantă. Ok? O să vă arate Radu mai multe chestii despre aspect ratio. Dar la fel, puteți să alegeți dintre astea default că sunt cele mai ok. Sau dacă vreți să aveți o chestie pe mijloc sus, de exemplu, o să fie următoarea și așa mai departe. Ok? Și practic voi trebuie să setați pivotul pentru fiecare componentă în parte. Bun. Ce să vă mai arăt? Haideți să vă mai arăt un piculeț cum stă treaba cu Asset Store-ul. O să trebuiască să opresc un piculeț share screen-ul de aici ca să dau pe tot ecranul. Imediat. Ok, sper că se vede. Se vede browserul meu?
Da, se vede.
Bun. Asset Store-ul este assetstore.unity.com și dacă ne ducem pe pagina principală, el cam așa o să arate. Vedem că au și niște deal-uri și putem să dăm scroll, mai jos, dar ideea este că aici puteți să căutați tot felul de lucruri. De exemplu, dacă voi aveți nevoie în proiectul vostru de un copac, puteți să veniți aici să căutați copac. Și bineînțeles o să găsiți un copac drăguț care este și gratis. Eu mă gândeam să intrați toți, dacă tot îl aveți instalat, și să căutăm un armchair, că mi s-a părut foarte ok, destul de micuț și de drăguț. Este primul armchair disponibil, iar arată cam așa. Să vă arăt exact și cum importați chestii de aici. Aveți și proiectul deschis. Ok, doar intra, I'm sorry, am vorbit foarte mult în română. Just enter the asset store and type in armchair. Okay, it's gonna be this armchair like the first or the second result. Did you manage to do so?
Yes.
Okay, great. And now, if we also have our project open, we can click on Open in Unity, and this pop-up is going to show here, and we can click on Open Unity Editor. And now I hope that you can also see my Unity window. It's going to take a while. And it's going to last a little bit. I don't know why. Oh, I have to sign in. I'm sorry. I'm gonna share my screen again after I'm done. Okay. So here we go again. We have the package manager here that is the manager of all of the things that we want to import and use in our project. And we can see that we have the armchair here. mine is already downloaded, so I just have to import it. But you have to download it as well. And another window is going to be displayed. We can leave all of the things selected and just click import. It's just a quick example. Okay, and we can see here that we have, I'm gonna close this because we don't need it anymore. We can see here that inside our assets folder, we have a new folder created, which is called chair. Okay, so we have different materials. We just have to let it load for a little bit. Okay, so we have a gold one, a black one, silver, and so on. We also have a folder that is called model. So we have the 3D model of the sofa with different materials. And we can click on the cube, for example, to focus on it. Ok? Dacă suntem foarte mult cu zoom out, puteți să dați dublu click pe o chestie din scenă, din ierarhie, ca să vă aducă mai aproape, ca să nu stați voi să dați foarte mult zoom in. Și acum, practic, ne-am importat în proiect scaunul, fotoliul, mă rog, și vedem că avem și ceva care se numește prefabs, un folder care se numește prefabs. So a prefab is a game object that already has different things set to it. Okay, so if we have multiple objects, all of them looking the same, we don't want to do a certain thing for all of the objects that are the same. We can create a prefab, and every time we want to add into our scene a new object of such type, we can add the prefab because it's going to store all of the things that we want for all of those objects. Okay, and we can drag and drop it to the hierarchy to add it. Okay, we can see that it overlays a little bit with our cube, so we can take the cube and move it a little bit, for example. And if we double click on this, we can see how it shows, how it looks like. Okay, it's just a 3D model of a chair, of an armchair. Okay, did you manage to do it?
No, I can't use Unity. It's still downloading. Oh,
okay.
It failed.
Okay, just try again.
Try again.
Probably you don't have enough space.
It's 4 giga, and
Okay.
I don't know. I have more than 100. I'm installing on the C
Okay.
drive. Yeah, I'm on. Failed again.
Okay, don't worry. You can try to do so afterwards.
Okay.
This recording is also going to be available on YouTube. So when you manage to install Unity, you can retake the steps. Okay, and now we have our sofa. I want to show you just one little quick thing. We can change the materials, for example. We can make a golden armchair, maybe with some red or some black, it doesn't matter. You just drag and drop things to your object, to your game object. Okay? And we can see here that we have a sofa object with two children, the body and the pillow. Okay, so you can see how this game object is composed. Okay, we have the body, like the walls, the things that we lean on, and we also have the pillow, which can also have a different material. Okay, if we drag and drop the golden one, for example, we can see here in the inspector that the material is set to beige, for example. Okay, is it clear, this part? It's really intuitive. And for example, if we did a major mistake or just a small mistake, we can click Control Z, okay, and get back to where we were. And another thing I want to show you, and after that,
I think someone had a question.
Okay, please shoot.
I wanted to ask about the prefabs. I have been using Blender, and when I imported the assets to Unity, I had the option to unpack them or use them as is. What would be the difference between unpacking the prefabs and using them simply as default, let's say?
I think you have to unpack them to select different parts to have different materials. I think I didn't use that much, but I think that's the cause. And if you get them packed, it will be a single object. Like you see, she has a sofa and body and pillow. You would have just sofa or something like that.
Oh, I see. And another question.
So you can't put materials on body and on the pillow another one. You would put on everything the same material or something like that, if I remember correctly.
And another question about textures. When I import them from Photoshop, they are not as vibrant or vivid, let's say. What could be the cause?
Yeah, you have to tweak the material options. Like when you have a material, I'll try to show you afterwards, okay? If you remember.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Radu. The last thing I want to show you is that you can also select an object and click copy and paste, and it's going to create a duplicate inside the hierarchy. Cum v-am zis și mai devreme, dacă ceva apare în ierarhie, asta înseamnă că trebuie neapărat să apară și în scenă. Doar că în scenă este clar că ni le-a pus exact una peste alta și de asta noi vedem în ierarhie două obiecte, sofa și sofa 1, iar în scenă vedem una singură, pentru că sunt exact una peste alta. Dar dacă luăm și mutăm, vedem că sunt două și sunt identice. Okay. I think that the basics are covered. Dacă mai aveți voi întrebări, dacă nu, eu aș propune să facem o pauză de nu știu, 10 minute și după aia să rămâneți cu Radu pentru partea practică de mobile.
Da, așa o să facem.
Ok? Bun. Păi, mulțumesc foarte mult. Sper că v-am ajutat, măcar cu o recapitulare pe cei care știți deja sau măcar cu bazele pe ceilalți. Bine. Păi atunci ne vedem la fără 10 aici?
Da. Dacă
Bine.
aveți întrebări, vă gândiți la ceva, ne puneți după micro.
Exact. Bun.
Okay.
Mulțumesc foarte mult. O să închid și eu share screen-ul și revenim.
Mulțumim și noi, Mara. So is everyone back, or we should wait more?
Well, I'm back.
Just one. Okay, we'll wait 2 more minutes. Okay, so let's start. This one. Okay, can you see?
Yes.
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 Oh, okay. So you have the 2021 installed, yes? So you should hit new project and select the 2D mobile. I mean, if you probably this isn't installed, you should install it if it appears like this. It's a template. It just sets up the core functionalities and all the stuff. And you should also select the 2021. It's not a problem if you have 2019, but it comes with the device simulator packed and in the 2021, and I will show you why that is useful. Okay, so let's say demo Android. Okay, select the project name and the path, and you should hit create project. It should take a while, so yeah. And while it's creating, I'll show you what I meant by that. So in 2019, this is a project in 2019, as you can see. Second. Okay. The game. It shows the stuff in here. If I add a 3D cube like Mara showed, it will see it's in 2D because the camera it's in orthographic mode. Okay, orthographic means it's only two planes. If you select perspective, okay, if you select perspective, you'll see that it's in 3D because you can see right now because the camera is in 2D. But if we move it up and rotate it, okay, because this is a 2D template, I selected also the Android. It shows still in 2D. Oh no, it's because I don't have a light source, I think. Okay, so you can see it's more 3D now. Okay, but you can't really see on the phone. So there's the device manager in a window. So you should go to Window, Package Manager. You should select Advanced Project Settings. No, this is not. Wait a second. Okay, the Show Preview Packages. Okay, so Window. Second. It's loading the preview packages. Okay, so you should go to Window again, Package Manager, and select the Show Preview Packages, and there's the simulator. Okay, and you should install it, Device Simulator. So it will give us an perspective how it will look on the phone. It's very important because from the game window you won't see how it will look. Second, it's installing. So you see here.
Can you show again how to open that tab, please?
Yeah, sure. 1 second because it's loading. So you can see it's there are a lot of phones templates that are loading. Okay, wait for the login and I'll show you. Okay. Again, so it's installed. Again, if you are using 2019, if you are using 2021, it's not needed. Again, you should go to Window and Package Manager. Okay. Window,
okay,
Package
thanks.
Manager. And select the Show Preview Packages. It will not show otherwise because it's a preview, but it works. Show Preview Packages, if yes, and search Device Simulator, and you should see it, and add it to your project. And now, anyone is using 2019? Okay, so I'll just show. Now, just if you go to the game window, you can select simulator, and you'll see that's in. Let's select. We'll use, I don't know, Pixel. I don't know, whatever you want. Galaxy. What is this? Oh, Z Fold. S9, for example, and you can see that it's more clearer, and you'll see here how it will look. It's not that wide as we saw before with the game. So that's why you would need a simulator, because it's a good exemplification of how it will look. Okay, but again, in the 2021, it comes packed with it, so you don't need to install anything. Okay, I'll use also
Nokia.
Sorry?
Nokia.
No, Google Pixel, because I have a simulator I can show you on example. Okay, this is one way to simulate it. Another way you can simulate it is by selecting from game. From game. Select free aspect and add a new one, and you should also add the phone. I don't know what phone. Let's search for one. iPhone. No, Android. You wanted Nokia?
Yes.
Nokia phone resolution. Okay, for example, this one. Okay. I can close this one because we don't need it anymore. Okay, and we can select on the X this one, and on the 2, 6. Okay, and Nokia. Okay, and you can see it's a relative. This is how it will look. So if you add something, this is how it will look here. Okay, again, let's add a cube. Even if we see a square, and you can see here. Is it clear for now? I hope everyone is using 2021. Is anyone not using 2021? Okay. Any question until now?
I'm sorry, not a question. I can't use Unity at all. I can't install it at first, and my computer just very slow right now.
Okay. Can you? Oh, I forgot. You should pay attention to this part and rewatch afterwards for the example. Don't try to recreate it right now because it's a bad habit. You won't understand anything. You just replicate it, and maybe you'll not. If you don't understand it, it's not that good. So just try to pay attention. Ask if you need anything. It's okay. Okay, and so you'll have a nice time afterwards to apply this after you make it work. You should search on the internet. It's sure you'll find a problem. Maybe there are some securities problems or dependencies, I don't know. So you should search for it because I don't know your specific problem, you know. Okay, so just try to pay some attention now and replicate it afterwards, okay? It's recorded, so it's not a problem. Okay. I'll use a simulator because it's far more easier. But when you use it on your phone, if there are more options, the simulator, the one with the screen ratio, so you select the resolution, and there are two options. You can use it on your emulator or on your phone. I think you had the Android Studio webinar, right?
Yeah, yesterday.
Okay, so you should have Android Studio installed with 1 second. Okay, just should have Android Studio installed with an emulator, I think. Okay, so you can use this one. There is not a problem with it. But if you see that I opened Android Studio and I had to go to all this stuff, there's an easier option if you want. I'll show it to you. You can, from command prompt, you can write, there are two commands, so it's not that much. Emulator, list AVDs, and it will show you the installed AVDs, the Android phones that you have. So this is a Pixel 4 with API 30. So it depends on how you install. And then you can write just emulator AVD and this one. And I have to close this one because it will have a conflict, and just enter. Okay. So you don't need Android Studio anymore. Okay. Okay. So you can see it's booting up. You shouldn't close the prompt because it will close also the phone. Okay. What you should do after this, this is the same for the real phone. If you have a real phone, Android phone, you should also do this for your phone. You should open the settings. You can't just put any application and run it. You have to enable this option. You should go to settings. You should go to system. I'm correct. No. Okay. Then you go to. This is about emulator device. I mean, it should be about your phone or software. Okay, you should search. This is very specific on the phone. You should search on internet. This is for the Pixel 4. Okay, you'll find I added a link on how to enable this on general, but you should find for your own phone. You'll find it for sure on the internet.
And to developer options.
Yes, you need to enable it. You should find the build number and just press it many times. Okay, just press 5 or 6 times. I don't know. Just press it until it says you are a developer. Okay. After that, you should be good to go, but you should verify. It's in. You should find somewhere the developer options. I don't know on this phone too. Accessibility. Okay. Anyway, it's by default built in to enable. Okay, so you see this is a system, advanced, and you should find the developer options. And if you see here, debugging is USB debugging is on, so you should have this one on. Okay. I don't know if anyone is trying this, but if you want to, you can. So I added the link on the PowerPoint on how to enable this one. Okay, so you need this one. And also you should install from Magazine Play Unity Remote, because that's the way you can run application for testing. Okay, I have it already installed. Then you should put in open, and you should wait, just let it open. Okay, also you would need edit, project settings, simulator, no, wait, project settings editor, sorry, and set the device to any Android device. Okay, so you can see that there are many steps involved if you are using a real phone or emulator for debugging. Again, you have the links in PowerPoint to enable this, but I recommend you to use a simulator. That's why we are using 2021. Okay, and after this, you should go to File, Build Settings. Also, this is for everything, even if you are using simulator. You should enable Android, switch platform. Okay, you should switch the platform from Windows to Android, because it's not by default Android. It's by default Windows, Mac, Linux, all that stuff. And I'll show you again how to do this. 1 second, so it's loading. You should go to File, again, File, Build Settings, here. Select it, and then just choose Android and switch platform. It should be a button here. As you can see, if I want to switch back to this one, it's switch platform. And you select default device, it's okay, but if you are using your phone or simulator, you should select your phone here. Okay, and that's pretty much it, and we should start developing some games. So we are doing a to-do list. It doesn't seem that complicated, but it's really not that complicated, but it covers a lot of concepts that will help you develop your apps. So we will use JSON objects for storing data. We'll use lists for storing temporary data, and you'll see. We'll use also C# because I know someone asked. So okay, I'll use default device because it doesn't matter. We are using this one, and I'll close this one. Oh no, I want to show you that it works. Okay, it doesn't work. Yeah. Okay. 1 second. Okay, I think it's because I have two projects open. Okay, let's see if it works. Okay, so I had two projects open, that's why it crashed. So we should have only this one. And you can see it's blue because we didn't add anything. The main camera background it's blue, that's why it's blue. Okay, I will not use anymore the emulator because it's not needed for this. If we have the simulator, that's why I wanted you to install the 2021, it's much easier. Okay, any questions until now?
So we can use a real phone to see the scene and what we are actually making.
Yes, like I showed you on an emulator, you should also unlock the developer options and connect with an USB cable to the computer and enable from build settings. We should choose your phone here, okay?
Yeah.
And you should enable, I think, from the phone to enable data transfer or something.
I see. And if, let's say, I have the game fully done and I wanted to have an Android, iOS, Mac, Windows, do I have to redo the whole game, or I can just scroll to those options, click build, and that's it?
Okay, so for iOS, it's much harder to, I think, to develop because they are very secure with their things. With Android, it's that easy. You switch platforms, and with Windows, yeah, you just switch platforms and it will work. The problem will be the input, like you know, on Android you have you are manipulating the scene with your fingers. With Windows, with your mouse, you know. But yeah, it's that easy. You can switch platform and build settings, and you'll build. We will also build it and run like build. It's meaning that is the final version. That's what we want to run. Like when you finish your program and you want to run, that's the finished program, and you want to run just that. You don't want to run all this stuff behind. You know, you don't want to run the objects again and switch them, because we can also, while something is running, they'll show. I think yeah, this is because we should select none. I'll change that. We can add, for example, a cube, and it will appear. We don't want to test it. On the build is the final version. Like we can't add just because we want to. You know, we'll see. You know, okay. So we should go to editor setting. Okay, this should resolve the problem with Unity Remote. Yes, okay. So because you are using simulator, you should go to edit again, project settings, and disable this device, Unity Remote device, from any Android device to none, because we are not using for now your real phone, okay, or emulator. Okay, so you can see this is much easier. We'll again select Pixel 5 because I want to show you the final result. That's no, I had Pixel 4, I think. Okay, this is Pixel 4, sorry. So we have Pixel 4. Okay, now let's start with the demo. Okay, so main camera, like Mara said, it's an object, we see through it. Like, and that's the good part with Unity, because it shows you here what we'll see. We'll need to add an UI again, and we should select text first, okay? But if you go to simulator, you can't see any text, okay? Why is that? That's why, because canvas, it's not inside our camera. It's far away. It's if you can see, it's screen space overlay. We should select screen space camera, okay? and we should drag our main camera here. And now it's very tiny, that's why you can see it. Second. You see it's down here, so we see only part of it. Again, this because we select a screen space camera, now we can put the UI, the canvas, in front of our camera, so we only see what the camera sees. Okay, that's why if the object is outside, okay, this is very little. If the object is outside, we can see it's not inside the box. So if we put it inside the box, now we'll see down here that the text appears, you know. So our main camera, it dictates what we see. So everything should be inside our view. So again, it's very important because you will have problems otherwise. Select the canvas that you created. Again, create a canvas with text, or doesn't matter really, we'll change it anyway. Okay, and it should create automatically this canvas and event system. Okay, and the text is inside. Go to canvas and select from screen space to camera, because we want to see the UI inside, to put the UI inside on the camera, or in front of the camera. In reality, what's happening is that it's very far away. Okay, so you see more clear now. The camera is the cube here, and we put the UI to be inside the cube. If we select like before, the screen place overlay is very big. You see it's right here. It's very far away. So we should put inside the camera. Okay, again, select camera space and drag the main camera there. Okay, now select again 2D so it can see. Okay, now also you can see here how the text would look like. So we can see that this text it's relative. You can see it, you can read it. This one you can't, so we should change the font size to 100. But like we did to this one, you can't see this the second one even if you change it. That's because Unity tries to put the text inside this little box, okay, that it's creating. So you can make the box bigger and you can see, okay, if the box is big, if the box is big enough, you can see the text. If it's not, you cannot. But there's a better way, nicer way. Horizontal overflow, you should set to overflow, and this one too. Okay, so you tell it, I don't care about the box, how big it is. Doesn't matter, just write the text. Okay, and it's much better to do it this way than to convert the box and all that stuff. It's just a pain. So you can just select overflow. Okay, and select the font that you want. And you can also change the color of the text, so red, and you can see it's red. I'd also recommend to change the background to something nicer. I don't know. Let's make something like this, like a dark mode. I don't know. Okay, and you can see it's darker. It doesn't burn the eye. It's that ugly blue. Okay, so you can go to main camera and change the background. Okay, any questions till now?
Yes, how I increase the resolution of the text?
With font size.
No, I mean not to be pixelated on margins.
Oh, it's pixelated.
Sharper.
Okay. That was the problem. You should select. I know the problem. You should search for it. I think it's from the size. You should change the size or something and make it smaller. I don't remember correctly, but yeah, I'll try to search for it in the break and we'll solve it. Okay.
Yeah.
For now, just let it be like this and we'll work it out. Okay. So that's how we add the canvas is the important part, is the main view. It's what we see. I will delete this one because we don't need. We will make a to-do list. So let's add the text and set it to overflow again, like I told you, to do this. Okay. Let's increase the size. I'm trying to see where that setting was. It's pretty tricky, but just let it for now. Okay, so you can move it. You can select it and move. Just make the box bigger. Okay, so you can see it's now on top, but that's pretty ugly. We can see, so make it white. Okay, and we should see it easier. Okay, and now let's make the actual list. We should go on canvas, right click UI, and make a scroll, no scroll bar, scroll view. Okay, make it bigger so it's much nicer. Make it however you want, just be pleased with it. Okay, I don't want to touch the corners, and I'll let it like this. Okay, we'll have only the vertical bar. The horizontal bar is not needed, so I think you can just close it. No, you can just close it. You have to set the handle to off, sliding area off. No, 1 second. Okay, you should set the image off, if I remember correctly.
Maybe in the scroll view component of the main object.
You mean this? You can't unselect
Yeah.
this. You see? I think this one you mean, yeah. Okay. Okay. But you should also deselect this too, because I think it doesn't appear, but it's nice to have all closed. Okay, so you can't see the horizontal bar anymore. Okay, so we should be able to scroll. Now, if you see, the scroll view has a viewport and the content. The content is what inside the scroll view. So let's add a new toggle box. Okay, you can see this one. You can make it bigger. Okay, again, you should go to toggle, label, overflow, so it's nicer, 100. Okay, and you should also make this one. Okay, you should make this one bigger also, but yeah, you should do it background first, because otherwise, like Mara said, the background changes related, the checkmark changes related to the background. So if you change the background, the checkmark first, after that, if you change the background, it will move also. You can see it's moving. That's because this is a child. If you move it outside, if you change the background, it doesn't matter if the checkmark is there. But we don't want that. We want to be able to move this one too. Okay. Okay, so you can see it's much nicer. The label should be a little to the right. Okay, so we should also change the right. Okay. One second. I mean, just move it, and you can see it's moving. This is like an offset, the right and bottom. Like all of them are offset, I mean, but I changed the left one, so it's that I was moving the wrong one. Okay, so now we have a toggle. We can actually play it, and we should be able to see that you can select and deselect the toggle, the check mark, you know. Okay, Any questions? Does it work to everyone? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Just ask questions if there's a problem. Okay. It's moving up. Okay, there's a bug. I don't know. Okay, so we can have many more of this, but the problem is that is in the same place. So you can add actually the 1 second. I forgot what's called.
Content size filters, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, not this one. Oh? No, not this one. 1 second. Okay, yeah, not this one. Move component. It's a vertical layout group. Okay, so it's on vertical side, so it's up down. Okay, we should also change these two, and yeah, I think we should change the padding too, so it looks nicer. Top 20. Okay. No, not this one. Spacing. Okay, this is spacing. We should change to so it's a little bit clearer. So it is not that one inside another, you know. So we have some spacing, and that's nicer. Okay, if we play it again, you can see that you can select multiple ones or deselect them. Oh my god, what's this problem? Well, it will fix. Okay, so you should go to content again and add a vertical layout group. So you can set these ones. Okay, you should. I don't know, that's the problem, but okay. Just change the. This is the default part, and just select the padding. Oh no, you don't even need to select the padding. Only if you want to change, like from the top to be a little down, 20. From left, sorry, from top like 20 again. So it's not to the corner here, to the edge, because we have 0, 0. You know, it's to the corner, but it's not nice. You have to think about the design pattern and how you want it to look. Okay, so spacing 40 or 60, however you want. Okay. This you can leave, and force child. Okay, let's see. It still works, but I would. Oh, yes. I think you have to change this one. Okay. Okay, you can see it's moving up. I forgot to. It's something here I forgot to do. I'll change this one and I'll tell you afterwards. Okay. So if you add more, you can see it's. You can't see inside the scroll view, but if you go into simulator, you can see. Oh my god. I'll change that one, no problem. Okay, so for now, this is how we want it to look. This is a toggle, let's say on the label, test. Okay, one, just test. And we shouldn't just copy it every time we have to use it. We should make a prefab. So a prefab, it's something that you can replicate. Like a car is a prefab. A car is a prefab because you have many models of the same car. So if you have a Dacia Logan, again you can have 10 Dacia Logans, and so it's like a blueprint. It's something that you want to use, a form, I don't know, to complete. So you can just drag it here, and it will make it automatically. You should have a structure. So create a folder, prefabs, and just add it to the prefabs tab folder. Okay? Is it okay? Is it clear? Do I need to explain anything? Sorry?
No.
It's okay.
It's okay? Okay. So you should have a prefab, okay? Because some things can be a prefab, like canvas can be a prefab because you use it only once, but toggle will have a lot of things in our list, so we need a prefab. Okay. Okay, let's. So we have an object in our list, but now we can't do much. Just press toggle on off. It can do much. Like we can do anything with it. So that's why where the script comes in our game, in our application. You should make a new folder, scripts. It's good to have an organization, have your folder organized, so object organized. Create a C# script with checklist object. Okay, so this is an object in our list. Okay, it should compile. This is an object in our list. This is what happens to that object, related to that object. And we should also have a checklist manager. The manager, it's controlling every object in that list. It's dictating what you should do with that. Like if you want to delete an object, we should pass it through our manager. Okay, a manager has a list of every object. He knows every object in our scroll view, in our list. He can also delete them, store them, and all that stuff. So it's important to have a manager. Many games, I mean, every game has a game controller. It's called so game controller. I don't know. It's an empty object. It doesn't have anything. It just have that script. So it should call this checklist manager object. Okay, and just add the checklist manager script. So it's an empty object that is not a physical form in here, but it manages the things in here. So like if you want to keep count of the points that the player scored, the manager should do that because it's much safer to have it on the manager, because if you delete that, usually you delete an object when it's dying. So if you have a player that is dead but you want to keep the score, we should keep in the manager, because if we destroy that object, the score will be gone. So it's not stored somewhere. But if you have a manager, it's stored in the manager, and you know. Okay. Okay. So I will start the script. We'll start with the object first because it's much easier. Okay. Okay, so we should add here using. No, I'll show you this afterwards. We didn't talk about these parts. So a script, it's something that you add to an object that you want to execute. So let's say that you want to, when you instantiate an object, you want to say hello world, you know? You should use debug.log for that. It's like cout, if you know. Hello world. Okay. Okay, so it's like cout hello world. It will be printed to the game. But what's the difference between start and update? Start, it's when you instantiate the object. It's instantiate means you create it. So we will use instantiate many times. Okay. So remember, instantiate means create. Okay. Instantiate an object. So when you instantiate it, it will call the start function. It is the first thing that it calls, and it will execute all these things in here. So if you have many things like debug.log many times, it will call all of them. And update, it happens every frame. A frame is a part of of the game. So a game is made of many frames. That's why you can see that in any game that you play, it's smooth. You know, when you call the FPS problems, there are FPS problems when you see only images. That's because your computer can't run or that thing. It's too powerful for it, or that's a game design because you can set the frame rate to be lower. But usually it's 60 frames per second. So this will be called usually 60 times per second. Okay, this is the main loop. This is happening every frame, and a frame is happening in a second. There are 60 frames, so this is called 60 times per second. Okay, or many times, depends on the refresh rate. There are many things, but remember that updates, it's called very often. So you can use it to check something, like to check if a boolean flag equals false. You can say, and you can check if flag. I hope you know some programming, no? Like use
yes.
C++. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So if flag is true, this is the meaning. Let's say debug.log I am true. Or I don't know. Hello. Okay. But if not, else, just make the flag different from flag. Okay. So and you should also, oh no, I mean, just if flag is true, you print it, and flag should become different from flag. This is a switch. It will happen many times. So and we should also print the state of the flag. Okay, let's make it like this. So this should also print only when the flag is true. Should also always print hello plus true, hello true, you know, and you change it every time. Okay, and if we add this to an object, okay, wait a second. Let's add it to the toggle because this is where it will be. You can drag and drop them, it's not a problem, or you can add component checklist objects from here. And if you press play, you have to save it always, otherwise it will not work. Okay. You can see that nothing is happening, but really it's everything that we want is happening, because if there is the console. If it's not open by default, you can go to window and select it from somewhere. Layout, search, general. Okay. So you can go to window, general, and console, and it should open. Okay, and if we stop it because there's too much, you can see that it's always hello true. But if you can see also, it's 999 plus. I mean, it's pretty. That's because, as I told you, it's called every frame, and there are many frames in a second. Okay, and I can show you also if we don't put this. We should see that it's alternating between false and true. Okay, I'll stop because it's already 400 samples. So you can see it's false, true, false, true. So it's happening every second and it's changing the value. Okay, is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. For this we won't need update. It's just good to know. It's nice to know that that's happening. Okay. We will have, so for a checklist object, we'll have some. What do we have? Let's say that it's the name. Okay, public string. Usually it's not good to be public. I'll talk about it in 1 second. Object name. Let's say to test. And I encourage you, it's not needed to have the object name to set to something. You can just leave it here. I encourage you, but I encourage you to use it to set it to something default test, so you can see that it's changing. Because if we instantiate an object, you create an object and the text is test, it means that it's not working like you want. It's not working properly, and you will know where is happening, because let's say that there are 10 scripts that is modifying this object name. Okay, so you'll not know where the problem appeared. I think someone had a question. Okay, I heard the microphone. Okay, we'll have also a public string type. Let's say we have a type, okay, and an index. We'll have an index. Okay, is it okay? We'll also have the text. We need to access this text from here. Okay, so we just defined our how the object will look. We'll have an object name, a type, and an index. But we need to somehow to access the text in there. So we should have a private text, item text, something. Okay, so we can see if I just leave text, it will not know why it's not working. What is text? He doesn't know about it. So you need to add here up front, like you add math or any library, include a string, include anything, So you should have Unity engine is needed. .ui. Okay, so the problem disappears because we have the text. So now it knows what are some UIs. He knows also about Canvas, I think. Now it knows about Canvas. If you remove this, it shouldn't know anymore. Oh, it knows about Canvas because it comes by default with